put those? Oh, there. Alright, well, we made it to another episode. 130. That is 130 weeks straight. What up, Red Dad? What up, dude? Babylon, what up? Yeah, I wondering. Not really much better, but we'll go with it. I guess just the price I pay having this big orange steel sign behind me as far as the lighting goes. But yeah, how was everybody's week? Mine was a bit aggravating, hectic. So I did a live feed messing with my 660. That's what up, William? And got it running, which was awesome. But the live feed got interrupted multiple times by a guy calling. Drove me nuts. And ended up canceling at the last second the night before. And it was like, that's not going to put you in a spot, is it? Like, is that okay? No. But are you going to do it anyway? Yeah. So, it's just been one thing after another this week. It's been a rough one. Charles, what up, brother? Aggravating one? Heard from Glove today? So the Walt wants to sponsor the GP. So oh yeah, just FYI, I did get in touch with. We have a new lone wolf that is here. Yeah, I know, Babylon. It blows my mind, but I checked on $50. It's $50, and he's still alive. Just FYI for everybody that was curious. I did check on him. His response was, I thought eventually one of you guys would come check on me. I mean, someone did a wellness request, so they sent, sheriff gets sent to check, you know how it works. Also, it was a hectic week. It was a very hectic week. And then as far as videos and content, from what I got to see. So, how was the week, Charles? Let me start this week out and say, like I said, hectic week, aggravating week, but I am so insanely, like, humbled by the amount of you that have the members is like, so when I got my channel demonetized the last, like, just recently, I had finally, I put my, like, everything in my members, and it just, when that went, I was bummed, because I think I was getting up there in members, and it was actually, I feel like I made the right decision as far as, should I put it on YouTube for just everyone or put it over here. And then I finally hit that threshold to where I had made the right decision and it was starting to work, and then boom, they stopped the channel. So to have this many members right now, thank you guys. Like, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate the hell out of every single one of you. And just FYI, these are the people, and these are the people I make videos for now. We do our live feeds every week. Gives us a place to cut up BS, have a little fun, and then I may do some, like, join live feeds, collab live feeds during the week if you guys want. What up, Buck? Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. But this is our weekly thing we always do. But I give, like, I will stay up. I didn't put a video out, I don't think, this week, technically, on members. Or maybe, it's been almost a week, if not. I am going to stay up and finish that video, and it will be up tomorrow. You have my guarantee. I will stay up. I will get that done. So, all the members, I appreciate you guys. I'm going to try to go a little, try to kick it up. I got a couple days where I can maybe do some stuff. So, what up, Lift? So, yeah, these are the people I make videos for. And these are our members. At Monsters Mom, at DJ Leslie Trees, at Bucky Sauls, at Guilty of Treason, at Jimmy Hagan 5480, at Birchleaf Trees, at Low Impact Forestry and Tree, at Country 9302, at Jerry Padilla, at Log Cabin Firewood, at Burke Mac Film, at George Adams TTC, at Bloated Toad, at Rad Dad Moody, at Gazmad Kilt, at Best Bucking Firewood, at Ground Pounder 24365, at 850 Climber CH Trees, didn't forget you this time, at Me Porter 69, at Donnie Darko 444, at Bad For You 22, at Veteran Tree Service, at Ismail Nizar 3821, at Kylie All, at Vanilla Hunter, at I'm OOK, at Tooling Around 2025, at Double O Vegetable. I like that. At Casper Nicole 09, at Anthony Buckley 4288, at Anton Bernard 2054, at Peter Shea 3131, at 0311 Hillbilly, at Small Fry 1999, and at Bookham Dano. I feel like that's an appropriate one for the end. So, also want to shout out Lift, Low Impact Forestry and Trees. He's the one that's, I feel like he single-handedly built my members back up by gifting members this week, and last week, I think even the week before. Also, 850 Climber CH Trees. Charles, he also gifted membership last week, so appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. So, other than that, those are the people that I make videos for now. So, yeah, all the content is edited together, but you get it with no, it's not monetized at all. There's no ads. I don't do none of that on membership, so you get it ad free, just the straight content. So I also found out that YouTube, while it just still aggravates, I may have even said this last week, but YouTube GP. Dog. I also need to shout out Ground Pounder for just being just OG as they get, always just being a faithful. And if you like this cutting up, like BS and having fun kind of live feeds, Ground Pounder keeps them rolling in. So on the reg. So if you like this kind of stuff, just cutting up with the guys and stuff, check him out. That's Ground Pounder 24 365. Dude, I appreciate you, brother. I gotta write that down. That way I don't forget. I don't know why I just spelt out all of Ground Pounder instead of putting GP. That's crazy. You the man, though. Hang on, you shook the bushes. Let's see. Tony, Sticks, Buzz, Mike Boucher, XX Load Toad, XX. That's crazy. I'm waiting to see. Okay, that was a good one. You shook the bushes. Then you can always find out, like, I just can't wait for it to be someone I know who's like hate watching, but just watching in the background. That's gonna be fun. So, Ground Pounder, again, appreciate you, brother. He is Rad Dad. He's all around. He's that dude. So as far as PSA for the week, I had to make a bit of a decision. I'm canceling my payment if Murphy ever gets one. Yeah, well, that guy comes in here boasting about how he's. Do you guys ever make this much in a day? Blah blah blah, but can't. Who won't appreciate members? He said, "I'm the." You see him glaze me last week? Tell me I'm the man, basically, and that. And then he also talks about how much money he makes and that he's like a baller. Yet he's the only one not in the members. So. Or you might not be. You might not be, though. That's the other thing, so. Cool. I've got a wrench. A trigger. No, shoot. I actually used Murph's card just meow. Yeah, awesome. So, this is what I had to make a decision. Now, we're doing this, and it's went on long enough that I feel like some are starting to realize, and like, if I feel like someone's playing it up for the sake of making it crazy, I'm out. If they're kind of being ignorant to get that attention, I'm out. Like, and if you're just like blatantly doing half-ass, don't care about nothing, like you have that, I'm out. So there are some videos that like maybe I have done them before, but we're kind of I gotta have some standards here. And some shit that I'm watching is just it's pointless. It's caca. It's trash. It's yeah. I can't. So yeah. If you're half-assing it, I'm out. You can have some respect for, like, yourself, the trees, the industry, like, I don't know. Yeah, that's all I really have for the PSA for this week. 8:50 already got timed out. God dang it. That's bullshit. Yeah, well. It happens. That's just. I got deleted too. Deleted smile too. All right. So first, I'm gonna have to give you a wrench to swing. Even his laughing faces. You guys can't pick on Charles. That's not right. I have to stand up for Chuck. All right, we get to chill. Or I'm just a warning. Okay. All right. First channel this week. Boss told me to. Sorry. How do you feel about farm plates on commercial vehicles? I like it. I like it. I wish I could get farm plates. That's how I feel about it. I wish I could get my shit's so outdated. I should get those vintage plates where you only gotta like buy them one time, which is a lie. I found out like a permanent plate's not permanent. Are we all speaking the same English in this country? Because I'm so damn confused. I bought a permanent plate. How does a permanent plate go out at somebody? That's not. Somebody doesn't understand what the word means. Because I don't think you would call it a permanent plate if it only has a 20-year lifespan. I'm not liking that. That's what I'm talking about. I farm brush. Trees like corn. Cut them down, and grow them again. Yep. Corn that gives you breath, like oxygen. That's all it is. First channel this week, guilty of treason. And this guy, like I would almost, I'm so pissed off, and I feel like he's phoning it in. I don't want these talking head videos no more. Alright? Actually, no more talking head videos. That's over. We're done with that. We're not doing that no more. I don't want to see your face in front of the camera nonstop. He's like, did one talking. Actually, that's 3 in a row. I don't like that. No. That's 3 in a row. So, this week, his video is called, I ranked every chainsaw I own from worst to best. And, I don't like this. This is not good. It's just, and I don't mean like, oh no, look out. I mean, it's not good. I don't want to watch this. He's doing like the videos you would do if you were maybe starting a channel, and I feel like he's phoning it in. He's doing these talking head videos, and I don't like it. I want to see you cut something like, dude. First, he did one with a chainsaw where he bought a Neotech and was in his yard and just cut for hours. But at least there was some cutting going on. He used the blade and just made pieces out of the log. He turned the log into firewood with the chainsaw and the blade. So, what up, Nate? So this time he puts out the Neotech video. Boring, but this much of it was okay. Then he does what do you need to be an arborist? Nope, I don't want to see that. Nope. Then now I ranked every chainsaw I own from worst to best. Who told you that we want to watch this? Jesus Christ, Murph. I'm not afraid to love. Jeez, you're crazy. That is the opposite of what people on YouTube think of you. Like, everyone, you're always so hateful and mean on YouTube. And he's like, you guys don't know in real life, he's just the biggest sweetheart in the world. I don't want you to love me. Don't do it. I don't like that at all. Just telling the truth. Good for you, Daniel. Don't egg him on. We want mean. I like the rude, mean Daniel. That's the one I like. No, I know there's a good guy in there somewhere, or I probably wouldn't like him. You know, he's got to even things out. Can't be mean all the time. Well, I like if you're mean all the time on purpose, and then like in real life, you're just a nice guy. I like that. That's pretty sick. I try to do that same thing. Who's got the wrench? It's getting all sentimental around here. Yeah. I thought about one of those instant wipe things. She talked. I was. Alright, so yeah, Guilty puts out this video where he's gonna rank his chainsaws, and he says some stuff, and some of the stuff I didn't. I wish you'd shut up. I didn't like it. So the only thing I have wrote is, what the fuck are we doing? Another talking head video. Do you even tree work, bro? And then and then after all that, I'm like, this is gonna be, I'm gonna be so pissed off. There's no cuts or something. There's gotta be something in this. There was nothing. Just sorry to burst the bubble, but like, it was as stupid as I'm saying. And then he tells the story about how he screwed everybody on YouTube and got their money stolen. Don't tell that story no more. When you get to a saw, Sam's the man. His videos make our industry look terrible. It's a mockery, if you ask me. Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like him. Sometimes. Don't tell him, but he's alright. But stop telling, don't talk. I've said this 15 times. I swear, I feel like I'm like a broken record at this point. We're not talking about John's custom chainsaws no more. Don't do that no more. Maybe it's got to have this and it'll stick. Don't do that no more. Don't bring that guy's name up no more. Somebody's going to look him up. So he tells the story about how, yeah, I had John's custom chainsaws build this saw for me, and then like everybody started asking who built the saw, so I told everybody. And then I had him build this saw for me. He brings him up like multiple times. And then it turns out John just took everybody's chainsaws and their money and ran off. So stop talking about John's custom saws. We ain't doing this no more. Don't talk about him no more. Here's the thing about getting tree guy being found on is that you guys checking out the videos to stay current with the same tree techniques. It gets boring. Yeah. Well. Yeah. So stop talking about John. Don't bring him up no more. Don't tell the story about how you told everybody about this guy who robbed them. Okay? That's not a good story to tell. We don't need to tell that no more. We're trying to forget about John's custom saws. But I feel like every other week, John's custom saws gets brought up on the channel. Stop. John's done. We ain't talking about John no more. So don't talk about John no more, alright? I've met Jacob and gotta say his success on YouTube couldn't have happened to a more decent young man. No, he's probably gonna, if he watches this, I'm not saying nothing nice, because he may watch this. And I don't like that. I don't like that. I've talked to him before. I'll just say that. So, for God's sake, if you're going to do a stupid talking head video, don't talk about John's custom saws. I tell you what, I'm going to unsubscribe next time he talks about John's custom saws. I'm out. And I'm sure he's absolutely terrified of that. If I think about the repercussions of his millions of subscribers, and if I left, how that would just, it would all crumble. That makes me happy. Don't talk about him no more. I don't want to hear about it. I like a video. Merv. That's right, Merv. It's a job to pay the bills. I wish I didn't do it anymore. Yeah, but making content is just make content and be a true celebrity is annoying. Lots of people in the industry are getting sick of influencers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Trust me, brother. I am. I came in with the wave that thought that originally started doing it on YouTube, and I was unsuccessful. It didn't. It worked for everybody that I started with. Their channels got big. Mine did not. So I understand, and I also have a bitterness about how I was not successful. That I feel like I was sick of influencers before everybody. Like I was, so that's where this comes into play. This everything here, the sheriff, all of it. So also, I think the influencer things being popular for Tree Guys, it's made it soft. It's like very feminine now. Like it's not rough and tough like it used to be when I started. Everybody's too sensitive. Like, I'm just not a fan no more. I don't relate. Bad reactions. Especially when influencers push products they use for 1 week. Yes, that is a big. I 100%, 100%. When they can honestly, I have yet to see a single one of them say, do their ad, make the money, do your thing, but make it clear. My verdict is out on the product as of right this second because I have not experienced the product. I'm not a fan of that either, brother. I find a disgustingness to a lot of the things. I see that nowadays people are fine with being lied to by influencers. It does not bother them at all. They would rather just be ignorant to it. They actually get aggravated and take up for their favorite influencer when you point out the hypocrisies, when they're being a complete hypocrite about something, or they're talking out both sides of their mouth, or they just outright lie. When you point it out, people get pissed. So it's like it blows my mind that people have this mentality these days that they're like, stop saying that stuff. Let this guy lie to me. So that's where I've lost. I don't relate to most of YouTube. Now, I got to give credit where credit's due as far as like pushing a product. You have a guy like Jacob whose channel is enormous. And I guarantee he gets brand deals all the time. And I'm not really seeing him ever push anything unless he kind of uses it. And it would be hard not to just take that free money just to say this one time. I've never been in this situation. Well, yeah, I mean, I've had opportunities, but like certain things, just like I'm not doing a damn video for Jobber. I'm not doing it. That's too zesty for me. He'll draw you anything. That's how it works. Yes, I'm like the bum that sets out at the beach, and he's like, he'll draw you a picture, but you gotta give him some monies. It's all. Everything's about the monies nowadays. I'm getting old, but I'm still super hip, super young, spry, strong. But yeah, it's about the money. That's I don't know where I was going with that. It's just about the money. So he talks about that. Back to Jacob. My ADD. Yeah, lost it there. Bro, there's a few guys who do jobber videos, been YouTubers I know personally who barely pay their rent. I know. That's what I hate about the stuff on social media. Yes, I want a real person. I want that person to be real. I know fucking Billy Ray's a good guy. Okay? I know. I he does too many nice things and pushes the whole be kind to people, treat people the way you. I know he's a good guy. But the character for social media, I don't relate to that no at all. It's all about money, 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 getting a saying over, blindly thinking you know everything, so your way's the right way. It's I I see it with so many people. I mean, there's guys out there. I'm gonna tell you something. Real ones are too busy working. Well, I mean, yeah, yeah. My opinion, some of the greatest tree guys out there, you won't see videos from those guys. Like you're saying, those guys are busy. They don't need someone that is somewhere else in the world to give them a thumbs up. I want you to think back at when you were a little kid, and like you like raked your neighbor's yard or something like that. What if they came outside and instead of giving you money, they said, "Don't worry, I'll give you a thumbs up." That sounds dumb. Why does everybody care about some random person giving them a thumbs up? Like, to the point that they lose their character. They're not going to be a real person. They're going to be disingenuous about everything to keep up a character that appeases their audience that may get them more money. Like, I see the whole thing with YouTube and social media and influencers. That's why I really appreciate the few influencers that I run into that I find out are real people, like people that I actually like. That's the only Billy that's allowed in GP's house. No Cyrus? A lot of us got YouTube videos. My quality of mine are junk. Okay. Time to edit. I find it entertaining. I like to see guys certain techniques, like the differences and the nuances between one guy to the next. A lot of mine comes from wanting to create something. Like I always played music, and I had an art major, so kind of artsy fartsy kind of guy always. So I love creating stuff. And then when I found out, like, hey, this is what I'm kind of good at as far as like physically, things that I kind of thrive at. And then when I found out I could create something from that, I was stoked. Like, I would skateboard so that I could record it and make a skate video. And that was just it just worked for me. I loved everything about it. So that's kind of where a lot of my the reason for me putting out content was just giving me a space to create and put out something. And then the longer you do it, you're like, whoa, I kind of built a time capsule of like my life during that time, which is kind of cool. So, but back to the stupid guilty of treason kid. Yeah, he tells the John Custom Saws thing. Then he says he started battery saws. If you did, I don't like you no more. If you started battery saws, he said, I was like the first one to start getting into using it. I don't like you no more. Nope. I think whoever decided to start using battery saws needs to be smacked in their mouth. I don't like them. They sound like shit. They're for elderly people and women. That's what they made battery saws for. That's not for a man. A man has a pull cord, a chainsaw. So I don't. If you started battery saws, I'm pissed. I thought more of you. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that would be cool. That's what I mean. As much as I hate the whole influencer bit, this, that, and I'm ragging on it, without me doing this, I don't have these guys that have become some of my best friends, which is insane for me to say. I actually feel stupid, but I've met Ground Pounder. Like, we've met up. So, like, it isn't as stupid as I say, because, like, I met him. We shook hands. Like, we hung out. And I got the same guy there that I get here. So, I kind of have to draw conclusions with some people, but a lot of you have my phone number and can call me anytime and send me texts, and like, so as much as I hate it, like, I dig it at the same time. It's I know that's kind of weird, but it's the truth. So I don't know what Jacob's doing, like why he's not working. The rumor on the street is that he had a hemorrhoid flare up. So I don't know if that's true. Randy is the man, or Randy the Mandy can answer that. I'm out. I don't want to know like definitively, but that's the rumor, is that he had a massive hemorrhoid flare up, and he's going to be doing a Preparation H commercial in the next video. Got a sponsor gig. That could be a lie, but so don't quote me. But I think that's probably why he's doing these talking head videos. Then he starts saying some more stupid stuff about how he doesn't know. How do you? Okay, he's like, I like this song more, but I don't know why. And he's trying to explain it. Well, it just when I use it, I like it more. That okay? I think the thing you're looking for, young man, is power to weight and ergonomics. How it feels in the hands, and I'm not the one with millions of subscribers. I would figure you put a little more work in if you're going to do a talking head video where I just got to look at your stupid face. That was mean. I'm sorry. But, come on. Yeah, the thing, why you like it with a chainsaw, power to weight ratio is so important. And ergonomics, how it feels in the hand. Not, I like it because I like. If you're going to do it right. So, I feel like you're phoning it in. Norma, what's up? Okay. Apparently loyalty doesn't mean anything to Jacob. He starts talking absolute trash about this. I feel like it's a personal shot. He says some people on YouTube have a like die-hard relationship with one brand or the other, and I think that's great. You shut your mouth, okay? Shut your mouth. That's called loyalty, my friend. That's called, they've earned my respect. I stick to a brand. I appreciate that brand. I'm not a slut. You, sir, may be a hoe bag as far as what chainsaw brand you use, but I have I've built a great relationship with the brand that I enjoy. My dad used that brand and always told me, you get what you pay for, and that's why I use Stihl. I feel the same way. My entire life, they never gave me issue. Amazing saw. I was Huskies. I couldn't get them to start. Yeah, if I could get them to start. Yeah, well, that's yeah. There's a couple that I've stumbled across. One my father-in-law gave me. Another one I think I bought for like $20 from a guy, and I think the only thing that was wrong with it was the throttle linkage had fell off. Somebody had taken the casing off and the little rod. So it's like I was forced to take them. That's the only reason I have them. But this, that's a personal shot. You watch your mouth, okay? You watch your mouth. Watch what you say. If you want to be all weird and like using all the brands, and that's just, I don't know. Have some, I don't, whatever. You do you. You can be the brand slut. I'm not. I don't even know what this means here. Gas saws, all good battery. Yeah, I don't even know. He must have picked, like, when he started saying that stupid stuff, I think I just got aggravated and just started calling him a bunch of cuss words. So I just have a whole bunch of cuss words wrote out. And I'm not going to say them right now. It's unnecessary. I don't need to do all that. But you watch your mouth, young man. I don't like that. No Ryobi A50. Milwaukee. That's the best blades. Charles, come on. I bought a used 3120. Thing had starting issues until it got stolen. I never missed it. Learned to follow big trees with short bars. Don't need to jump the extra weight around. Yeah. Well, to each their own. Like that's why I do find myself double cutting. You know, when I get into bigger trees, it's difficult for me. Okay, so for those that have never tried the MS362, the 362, I'm trying to see what's going on. What's good? SRP 960. What's going on? So the MS 362 has just been the most incredible saw. I had no intention of enjoying that saw. I have the original. The 036 is in here. It's right here. So it runs. It's a great saw. It's got like a ground issue for when it's time to shut off, and like the choke thing is a little off for some reason. Feels like it doesn't stay into choke, and it'll say it is, but I know the quirks to it. But that's an 036. The 362, way lighter, and just with the addition of the bark box on that thing, that saw blows my mind at how much how great the power to weight is. So I use it in situations where normally I would go get my 660. I'll just use the 362 because it's so much lighter, but I feel like I'm still getting that same power. I'm not getting the torque, but I'm getting that power. And as long as you keep a sharp blade, you're good. I got two 462s and one 500. Husqvarna 372 XP is the best saw I ever ran. Well, I think you should get out more, brother. And stay away from those people that are making you do stuff like that. I'm sure you're forced. So go hang around Murph. He's got the good stuff. So all right. Also this week, fucking Billy Ray put out a video called "What is Buckenstock?" Now, here's something I wanted everybody to know. If you're going to Buckenstock to don't go there to try to learn anything with climbing. Let's just say that, because your teacher for climbing, well, he's going to be teaching advanced climbing, is Sizemore. His channel is Justin Sizemore is who it is, and this is a guy that just a couple years ago, when I met him, was saying he's just getting started. He's just starting to learn. And a couple years later, you feel like you know everything to the point that you should be teaching people that have no knowledge at something, a get-together like a, I don't know. And then also for Buckin to be like, Sizemore, Justin knows more than me. I don't know what that says about Buckin. So like if you're having Sizemore teach your, when is Pounder Fest? Don't bring your wife to that. What the? I think that already is a thing. Brazzer does it. I ran steel before. Found myself becoming attracted to men. I hate you. Shut up. No, that's not true, brother. The one that I seen, everybody did. It was disgusting. No, I gotta stop talking about this. It's stupid. Really should have invited you to teach climbing at Buckenstock. Yeah, he should. No, I don't want to teach no. Like, I would, if I was ever stuck in that position, I still feel like, hopefully he does this too. And hopefully he's hate watching later on. You know, he'd be the type to watch it after it gets uploaded because he doesn't want to get caught by when we shake the bushes, because I know he's watched these enough to where he sees that. But if you watch this, I think it is your responsibility to be very clear to these people that this is just a demonstration and not technically a learning process. These people should seek out proper knowledge from qualified teachers. Let's just stillborn field party. Yeah, or we could just go on an old back road and have a get together. I'm down. You guys, you just gotta come to Knob Lick, Missouri. We got a watchtower there. Where was I at? Oh yeah, Bucking. So this Buckenstock, maybe I still feel like I should go. I feel like I should be there. I need to be there. What town? What for what? Buckenstock? Plus comes in hot. What low impact say? Yeah, so I think it's hilarious that even Buckin in the video is like, Sizemore's going to be there to teach classes. Oh, God. That blows my mind. That you got a guy he's a part-timer. That there's no way that he supports his. I don't know. I have my opinions, but I feel like it's a guy cosplaying as a tree guy. He dresses up like he's a tree climber sometimes. He dresses up like he's a logger sometimes. One day he's dressed up like he's an arborist. The next day he looks like something Bucking Billy Ray shit out. So it's, I don't know. I think what it is he's kissed enough ass that Bucking is trying to lift him up. But again, Bucking Billy Ray, being a nice guy, deep down wants to help his friend. Because his friend has sucked him off so hard that he's like, I owe him a favor. He's like, he even dresses like him, and he hashtags his stuff like him. I'm going to use the same songs as him. I don't know, man. That's weird. That's weird behavior. Don't idolize someone off the internet that hard that you start dressing up like them. That's not good. That's not good. Don't do that. Another thing this week, Bucking put out a couple different videos. One of the videos, he received hard hats from an inferior company who makes, a low grade product, my opinion. But Husqvarna sent him some hard hats. They were very nice. They not only sent him one, but they sent his son one. And they even sent Luke one. Luke is the son-in-law who films Bucking, who is starting. At first I felt like he was just trying to be a good son-in-law, and like can't help that he likes Bucking Billy Ray's daughter, and he's asked him like whatever. Like I think they're gonna get married. Like you can't. You didn't pick the dad. You picked the girl. So he's stuck with the dad. So I thought he was making the best of what he was dealt. But now he's starting to like do the weird little oohs and ooh friends. This is interesting. The weird shit. He's starting to do that. So Luke may be just as weird and kooky as Bucking. Bucking kind of has a reason for being so kooky. He's like got hit with logs, knocked him dumb maybe, and when I fell, I was way stupider afterwards. Right now, so I felt like Luke is starting to kook out, and I don't like that. He's starting to do the little weird things that Bucking does, and like the zesty stuff that men don't do, but like they're doing it though. So I don't like it. But they got a package in the mail, and they were so excited about these hard hats, and I'm like, well, good for them. I think that's awesome that Husqvarna sent them out. You know, you can send all these chainsaws and stuff, but they sent out hard hats, which to look out for Bucking, because he's got this kid, Luke, filming him doing stupid shit, going out in the middle of the woods in a windstorm with a bunch of dead trees, just doing dumb shit, having him get right up by him while he's cutting. I at least like the fact that I know Luke now has a hard hat to be wearing when he's behind the camera, being a complete idiot in some points, filming this knucklehead who acts up and makes everything so dramatic and sent like it's so dramatic. Everything's so dramatic. Even lining up his sights to take a notch is dramatic and interesting. I've never seen anybody talk about something being so everything's oh, this is interesting, Luke. Oh, Luke. Ooh. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But there's reason for what I'm saying. So they get the hard hats. The next fucking video, and don't strike my channel. I said fuggin' with a G. YouTube is always up my ass anymore. The next video, this fucking fruitcake goes climbing up a tree that has a big widowmaker in it. He even calls it a widowmaker from the ground. He points at, see that broken topper or that branch? Yeah, that's not, be careful. Okay, now I'm going to climb a tree with no hard hat on. You fucking dork. They just sent you new hard hats. Why don't you have one on? Absolutely stupid. He knows he should have been wearing it, but he's going to use the excuse, well, I only went up and did an inspection in that tree. I didn't actually cut anything, so I didn't need a hard hat. Nope, you stupid ass. You got that broken top out of there, the broken branch. You may have not shown it, because then you would have had to admit that you were up there doing work, and you should have had a hard hat on. That would have made it, but you just did, oh, I went up to look at something. This is what his plan was. This is where I'm talking about he lies. He says, oh, Lukey, I put a, he called it a cable in this tree. And he used fire hose and tied the two stems together. And he's like, he even admits it's one of the nuttiest things I've ever done, but I did it. And he says, I'm going to go up there, because apparently now he's giving all of his work away to some other guy. And if you're in the position where you're still teaching young people how to do this, I don't know why you would be quitting and retiring here. So but whatever. He's giving up all this work to a different guy, and he says, I'm going to go up and I'm going to take that cable out. So right there, he knows when he gets up there, he's got this fire hose that he's got wrapped around these two stems. And for those that, this is just a little extra for some of you guys. Anything here? So what he did, you're going to have to ignore my daughter's drawing. I don't want to even erase it. She'll guilt trip me. I got to at least leave it there until the next time she comes over, and I'll be like, no, I left it, look. I didn't take it. So, let's do it this way. Yeah, feel well. You're crazy. Dude, you're wild. You're so awesome. Alright, so, god dang. I don't even know what that one means. 14, did you just buy a year's worth of memberships? Is that what that is? What the hell? I don't even know what that is. You're wild. Lucky my truck didn't fall apart. Mistake. What up, Long's Quest? Alright, so this is what Buckin did. First of all, when he climbed the tree, this is Buckin climbing. He has little fruity nail bottom boots. But he's trying to climb, and he's got his buck strap, and he's talking about friends. This is the opportunity for the sloop. We're gonna sloop this thing, and you got to use the sloop to get up over this. All right? You see this? This is super detailed. Don't look at the flowers. Okay? From 6. Oh, appreciate you joining. Appreciate you, brother. All right, so yeah, 616 join members. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, welcome, brother. So he's working his way up here. No hard hat. Actually, I forgot. No hard hat. So he's got a stupid fat head. All right, so that looks more like him. He's got a stupid fat head, and he's climbing this tree, and he can't. They have to edit this out. Like, you can see the cuts in the video because he gets stuck there. He's an idiot. He's not half the climber he thinks he is. And then he's got the gall to get up, finally get past this part, and get up here. And he gets tied in. And he's like, oh, Luke, you know what? I feel strong. You don't feel strong, you old rickety fart. You don't feel strong. You were just talking about retiring and giving all your work away to somebody else. You don't feel strong. That's ridiculous. And I don't really care if you feel strong. Like, that's good for you, but let's be real. You don't feel strong. I don't even know where my red marker went. But, so up in this tree, he's got a damn, well, it was pretty purple. He's got a strap tying these two together to keep this seam from failing. Now, he knows he's not getting that untied. This is my COO, Mike. Oh, right on. Okay. Oh, that is what that is? Dude, I appreciate the hell out of you, brother. I really do. So, that's crazy. So he's got it tied off, and it's like knotted, maybe like right here or something. So when he gets up there, he knows he has to cut this thing. I believe he takes a chainsaw and all kinds of stuff. Like, maybe he doesn't take a chainsaw, he takes a handsaw with him, but he knows he's got to cut this because it needs to be relieved, is what he said from the ground. I need to go up there and take that off. It's been up there long enough, and it's going to start hurting the tree. I think there's a reason for it. And this is where an influencer will edit a video together to tell a story that didn't even happen that day. Because if they told the proper story of what really happened that day, they would look bad. So this is what he's doing. His plan, going to go up there, going to cut this. So he gets up there, looks at it, mind you, without a hard hat on. Not only does he have multiple hard hats he could wear, he just got new ones sent to him. There's no excuse for it. They even sent him Bluetooth head, like, earmuffs. I don't know if you send those to that old fart. Maybe he'll give them to Hogan or something. But, so he knows he's got to cut this, but when he gets up here to this absolute puss gets scared and realizes how tight it is. And he's like, you know what, friends? Oh, you know what? This is working perfect. Magically, when he gets up there and he realizes this damn thing is about to burst, it's so tight. He flicks it. And it's like when you take a ratchet strap and get it as tight as you possibly can and you can flick it, and it's like, boom. It is to that point. This is fire hose. Now, here on the tree, you can see it start to cut into the tree there. The tree is starting to bend over, like it's got a twist right there where that tie is at. And it bulges a little bit. It kind of bulges a little bit, which the fact it does any bulge out means it is cutting into the cambium layer. He sits there, records it, shows you it, and says, you know what, friends? I'm going to leave that. Yeah, I think it's working perfect, and it's not hurting nothing. It's doing its job. No, what happened is this kook gets up here, realizes, well, I only really wanted to climb this tree for the sake of making a YouTube video, and I'm kind of scared to cut this. So I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it, friends. You know, it's really helped. Why did you go up there then? What the hell did you spend the time making this whole video for, going up there? Because when you got up there, you didn't see anything different. You seen it was tight from the ground. This damn thing is, you couldn't, there's no movement. This thing is just, like I said, absolutely about to burst. So, it doesn't give the tree room to sway or move or anything. Goofy Ball Reel, what up? So, doesn't give it any room to burst, and he said he's going up there to cut it. I think a different cable should be installed, and you should go up even higher. A real cable should be put in. Not one of these ones that wraps around it, and it ends up cutting into the cambium layer. He says there's nothing wrong with it, that it's fine. It's good. It's me, son, Yoshi. Oh, sweet! What up, Yoshi? So, that's awesome. So I think somebody should go up here and put a real cable in, and it'll relieve some stress off of that one. Then it can be cut. Because you could bring them together, and then cut that, and then release it back out, and put the proper amount of play into it. But this thing, he shows you it. You see the bulge, which makes it very obvious that it is cutting into the cambium layer. Then, which I love the fact he spent the time Luke spent the time to fly a drone up there and show us the crown of the tree. When I seen the crown of the tree, I am 110% sure that this is cutting off the tree. The crown of that tree, every tree is perfectly green. This one tree is just bare and like the needles aren't there on the tree. It looks like it's absolutely dying. The tree can't pull nutrients up high enough to get to the tips of the tree. There's so much dieback, and it looks bad. It looks bad. Just by looking at that thing from the drone, Buchan should know that tree has issues. And it is more than likely that it's this. And it needs to be removed. But, you know what he thinks? And this is the kind of stuff I don't respect. Is, instead of doing what he should do, he's gonna give work to a guy, and he's setting this dude up for failure, 100%. Maybe a nice 3/4 inch radius punch. And removing a tree with a wrong tool. Video could be hilarious. Yeah, I'm sure it's already out there. That's with the way people are nowadays. Yeah, the fact when they flew that drone up there and gave the aerial shot of the tree, the comparison of that tree to all the other trees around there, that tree is absolutely being choked off by the shoddy work that he did. And instead of addressing it, he lies, and now he's going to give this job to a different guy who is going to have hell when he ends up having to remove that tree that Buchan basically destroyed by putting this crappy cable in it. Cable. Like, if the cable was a good thing, tell me why he felt the need in this video. This is the whole purpose for his video. Was, we're showing up, we're going to go remove this cable. Why would you remove a cable that's holding a tree together? I mean, needles on that tree look sick. That's what, dude, I'm telling you, it looked bad. And why would you, what did his brain told him, you know what, that cable that's holding, if it's the cable I put in that's holding the tree, why would you take it off? Because you know it's choking the tree out. You didn't do the proper work. You didn't do it right. You like to always talk about compartmentalization, and you learn to, you're just one of those kooky people that repeats phrases that they hear. You hear one new word a week, and you say that word nonstop. convex, or like it's always something weird. He knows he's setting this next guy up for failure, and it's dirty to do. You went up there to remove it, and your whole plan for going there was to remove it because it's killing the tree. But you got up there, realized it may be a little more work than you felt like doing, and you turned into a puss. And instead, you're going to pass that on to the next guy because you don't really care. %. I was who was I was watching somebody's channel, and they said that their dad always told them that most men, your average, if you live 80 years, you had a good life, but you spend the first 40 years of your life building a name, working for that name, and then you spend the next 40 letting that name work for you. And I think it's correct. I mean, I feel that 100%. And I wish it was truly like that. But nowadays, you could get a bad name, rebrand yourself, and come back to something completely different. People are so stupid and okay with being duped that it would probably work. I wish it was that way. It could have been Buchan that actually said that. Actually. BBR said, damn it, I hate... But again, I think there's a good dude in there with him. It's just this main character syndrome that he has, and he's become an absolute, complete narcissist. That he thinks everything he does is correct, is better, and is right, and that he knows everything. Instead of being humble like he was in the beginning, and you know what you know, and you can see his confidence, and he talks completely different, and is a different when he's telling you about trees and fallen trees, and because he really knows that. He has experience, like he's good at that. He knows that he's standing on a good foundation when he speaks on that. But you get the kooky, upbeat, like acting character when he talks about shit, which is the majority of the time when he's talking to the camera, he's doing the character. And he's got to do that because the character really don't know shit. Like he's like a jack of all trades, master of none when it comes to that stuff. Like he knows a little bit, but he's so narcissistic that little bit is enough that he's like, people want. I don't know. I try to think like him and be like, why would he do that? Like maybe he means, and I'm always trying to give everybody a way out, but sometimes it just. There's too many things he's done where I've called it before it happened, and then it happened. And I don't know. Again, you know what? I don't give myself enough credit, guys. I know he does a nail down bottom boot. Don't forget about the screw bottom boot. You can get these at my website. www.givemeallthemonies.com. Yeah, I got those. I'm also doing the nail bottom oil containers. I got good stuff. I got really good stuff. You should buy stuff. I just need some more money. But I think that's all I really got for Buchan. He really aggravated me this week with that whole climbing thing. I just feel it's so dirty. Because you're going to pretend like to this new dude who he's giving this work to, like he's doing this guy a big favor. And he kind of is. he's vouching for this guy. I would vouch for no other companies. Like, I wouldn't vouch for another. Well, no, I think my brother's good. Like, he's the only person I would vouch, like, be like, he's good. But, yeah, that's it. What up, Zachary? Give me the monies. Here's my better judgment. I bought one of those steel 2-in-1 file things. Did you? Dude, they're awesome. They work so good. They're so quick. And they're dialed. Like, they are dialed. Did you like it? Have you used it? The first time that you're on site and you gotta sharpen your saw really quick, you're like, dude, I'm sold. It's a little, getting the technique, it actually, to me, it holds better in the hand. Like, the ergonomics on it are even a little better than with the handle. But it's like a regular file handle, but it's a completely different thing. With a round file handle, I've always done the twist, which I don't think is a necessary thing, because a lot of files will have the twist built in, and I just don't think it's technically necessary. But it comes from, like, it travels a little better on the metal when, instead of going straight against it like this, if you can twist, you can get some movement to get that smooth stroke every time. But yeah, you don't do the twist with that thing. It's just a straight, and it's just hard to mess up with it. It's just hard to mess up. It just works, man. Yep, you're right. It's legit. Use it for 325. Cut ribbons. Yeah, it's dialed. It was surprising to me, because I don't buy into the BS either. Like, dude, I even got one of those really goofy things. I've tried everything. Look at this thing. I even got one of them things. They come in a little fancy box. Where's the instructions in English? Gee, so many different languages. Why? What? Oh. So it's that thing? It comes in a little case. In theory, I thought, well, that'd be cool. Like, it looks cool. Dang it, man. And I'm going to use it for something. I'm sure this thing has a purpose that I could use it for, but I don't know if it's filing. But it's kind of crazy looking. You get these weird, it's got a handle thing on it, and you put, the handle's got a file on the end of it. But if you could put a real file, if you could just change that out and switch files, like, and put a real file on that, you just, like, it goes into the, you impregnate the device, and then you just do this. You can impregnate either hole too, which is interesting. So yeah, it just pinches to the bar, and that little, oh, I'm doing it upside down, and this little thing here flips down. Where is that? What the hell? Yeah, so this thing right here flips down and stops the tooth each time. It just, I tried it, and I was like, had to resharpen my saw afterwards, but I mean, it looks cool. You know what? Whoa. I just found my new cigarette pouch. That thing's nice. I don't know. We'll leave this thing in it for now. I think long term it's gonna hold my smokes. of hand filing. Yeah, that's why that 3-in-1, dude, or 2-in-1, whatever, is so nice. It's just it speeds the hand filing process up quite a bit, to the point that it's like, thank goodness, because that would have taken forever to hand file one side, spin the chain around, hand file the other side, and then run over with flat file and a raker gauge, and it's just like, man, it takes forever. So I was trying to see if I had that one raker gauge here. I don't. I don't even know if I even have a raker gauge in here anymore. I don't think I do. What up, Hoonigan? Always tend to follow the left too harder than the right. Yeah, it happens. Everybody's got that dominant side to where it just like the saw and everything lays correct. Like it feels more comfortable to be in like this than to be in like this. Because if you think about it, if you're filing, you're filing, you file like this, but then when you flip the saw around to file this side, you're now filing outward, which is a complete different body movement. So your mechanics are completely different. That's why I get why some guys will file from the back and then go left-handed, but like I don't like that. I just don't. I don't like filing left-handed. How we doing, Hoonigan? How was the week? I do a 20-inch full skip. 6 to 7 minutes. Dang. Yeah. I think I said everything. Yeah, I said everything for bucking. But next channel was Troyer the Destroyer. He put out a couple videos this week. I watched the multi-sling one. The problem is I didn't write any notes down for it, and then I didn't get a chance to watch it again to write down notes. So he did put that video out this week, which was also a really good video. But the one I got a chance to watch for this week was Ported 151 - Little Ripper. And first I have a question for Troyer, if he watches this later. I want to know what you think about it compared to the 2511T. No tree guy out there has given the 150 like an actual shot. Everyone jumped straight to the Echo 2511T because you get August who does it, and another guy who's popular does. So the 150 doesn't even get acknowledged. So the only difference I would say with mine is I have the original 150. So I don't know what the differences are between it and the 151. Probably not much. But that's all. I have used and abused that thing for a very long time now. And it is not ported. It is just had the exhaust opened up and I've ran it stock. And it's still just such a perfect saw. So I've done some of the biggest removals with that saw. So I'm just curious what Troyer's experience is with it and what he would say it compares to with the 2511T after he uses it for a while. I want to know. Because I've used the 2511T, but I've always used them stock. And I think most guys have them ported and stuff. So for me, the 2511 and the 150, running both of them stock, there's no comparison. The 150 is way better. But the 2511 that I used didn't have the exhaust opened up. So my personal opinion on that whole thing is that the a lot of these saws that are being put out nowadays, the lack of like power at times can be the fact that they're being air restricted and just opening up the exhaust at times, letting some back pressure in and allowing things to not be so compressed, which at times would how do I explain this? This is just what makes sense to me. If the motor is under compression at all times, it's going to restrict movement on the piston as the motor runs. If it's got free flow of air and it's not being restricted, it can release the compression when it needs to. So I feel like some of the times the admissions that they force these companies to go through, these saws are being sold and they're absolutely completely restricted on airflow, and just a simple opening of the muffler at times can change the saw completely. That's what I did to the 150. The 2511 that I did use was just straight stock, and I think the screen was taken out. But I would say the 150, like, no doubt. I've got a friend that runs the piss out of a 2511, 2511 for years. No, thank you. I don't know either one of you guys. Don't embarrass me. Alright? Alright, so Troyer, let me know what you end up thinking, because most guys have not given the 150 a shot, so it is nice to see, like, oh, okay, well, I'm curious what he thinks, because I feel like I'm the only one saying I would choose the 150 over, so we'll see. We'll see. I'm kind of stoked to see what he ends up saying. So, next channel is Veteran Tree Service. He put out a video, Don't Crush Driveway. And he's kicking out some work. They were doing quite a few trees on this. Jake, aka Little Snatch. Little Snatch seems to be getting a little better at climbing your little trees. So, shout out to him. Seems like he's getting her figured out. That's cool. I think he's a big old boy, so it's even more impressive when I see it done. In this video, he's using, I guess the whole premise of the video was to use tires to protect the asphalt. I've not ran one, but I'm really looking forward to it once. Yeah, dude, but just the fact, I'm telling you, there are times where I've never been, because I have my 201, I have my 200T, but the 150 and the ability to have something that's that light in your hands when you're in a situation that's real sketchy, or you have to be super precise, that saw is the tool at certain times. Other times, I'm like, man, I wish I had my 201, though I could make this big cut quicker, but like, yeah, it's so nice when you're able to be as agile with that saw and get it done. But yeah, I think it's a good saw for anybody. Like I would recommend anybody to have one. So I would buy one. I didn't buy the one I have, but I would buy one now. Was a non-issue with all those other trees used for patio. That's kind of what I thought. I just don't think he was thinking ahead. He was just, his brain said, oh, dude, we need to get some impact padding for the asphalt so that we don't bust them when we fall those other trees. Not thinking, dude, all you need is one of the other logs. You cut it in half, put one on one side of the road, one on the other side of the road, and bridge it every time. And I just don't think that registered. So even though the premise of the video was using tires for impact, they didn't get used. He used them on like 2 trees at the very end. At the very end of the video. And the verdict on our tires, yes, they're useful. He probably did that because he's seen Papa over here do it. So he's like, I gotta try that. But I don't know. I don't know. He did all right. His new stump grinder's cool. So I don't think like the old stump grinder you had, Tim, would have made it to that stump in this video without destroying a bunch of shit. But the fact that Vermeer with that sleek design in comparison got it done. It was impressive to see where he put that machine and how little damage he did to the insane landscaping that was there. To the point, like, I was like, wow, how did he manage to not touch anything? So, the more I think about it, I feel like he probably lied and showed me the other side of the bed and was like, look, we did perfect. And then you look around the other side, there's these big old ditches and shit where all the flowers are ripped out. But maybe he tricked me. I don't know. But it just seemed like the new stump grinder's quite a bit more agile. I just don't. I was thinking about it, and if I was him, without this stump grinder, would you have done that stump or taken that stump on with your other big grinder? But we'll see. He's busy probably doing something zesty tonight or something, eating rainbow Fruit Loops probably, and bananas whole. You've heard of Frosted Flakes, or like Corn Flakes and some bananas. Fruit Loops and bananas whole is what Tim has for breakfast. But yeah, that's all I got for him. Stump grinding is up my alley. Right on. I'm not. It's okay sometimes. Like it's okay sometimes. I'm not the biggest fan though. I'm always worried something's gonna shoot out and bust somebody's window. Like I used to like weed eating until I heard a horror story where a guy went out to go weed eat his place, and all of his workers had just showed up, and he busted windows out of like 3 cars weed eating, and wasn't paying attention in the gravel, busted the workers' windows out. Now he's got to buy them all windows. We just got one at work Friday, a new chip truck this weekend. Sick. I thought it was decent. I like the auto feed. It functioned well. That being said, I didn't use it long term. Right on. So I think the last channel I have for this week, I have August wrote down, and he put out a video called "How Do You Aim a Chainsaw?" And then, well, he put out 2 videos. The other one was like named something stupid, like some will say it's not necessary, but it's so much quicker, or something dumb like that. He's now got somebody doing his work for him. Like he's got Damien in a little tree setting the slings before he, like, so that he doesn't, it's too much work for him to set the sling. So he's got Damien ahead of him setting slings. So that he can just look cool and YouTubery cutting them. Just let Damien do the job. Like let him climb and, whatever. I'm sure maybe Damien just, who wants another man up above him, spread leg all day long? To where when you look up, all you see is like gooch. I don't think I would like. I know I would like that. I don't like that they did it. So I'm not about to stare at some other man's a-hole all day. So, I don't like it. I wish he wouldn't have done that. But he put out a video, how do you aim a chainsaw? He just stated a bunch of the obvious. And, yeah. At least he didn't talk about firewood. So. Blade dope. Ain't got no gas in it. Alright. Okay, so Daniel Murphy, aka Smurf Dog, aka, no, I'm not saying that. Put out a video called Slipknot Rigging. Never again need a ground man to let it run. Not going. You're not going up and down the big conifer sticks all day either. That's facts. I have climbed real trees that aren't that easy. Like, my trees aren't just a stick that goes straight up with little rungs of branches. But stop trying to change the subject. Daniel put out a video, Slipknot Rigging. Never again need a ground man to let it run. So, what do we think about this video? I mean, it was a master class, is what Bookham Dano says. I didn't get a violation for my video. What the if you may have slipped through the cracks. You may have slipped through the cracks. I got Daniel over here reinventing rigging. So let me see if I understand this. Because we got Daniel here, and if I'm gonna if I'm gonna talk about it, I should probably fully understand what the guy means. So we got a tree. Somebody needs to donate some money. I'm gonna draw a picture, but I got this little tree. Okay, it's got a little thing. It goes over here like this. Branch like this. Tree come down. Oh, you know what I got? And to keep it just like the video, it goes over to here. Okay, let me think what he did. Okay. Down to here. Okay. Alright, you see what we got here? Okay, you see what we got here, right? I think I nailed it, Daniel. The picture's right? So, Daniel's got this idea here. He's got natural crouch here. It goes over to here, and he's got a redirect on the tree right here. Yep, okay. So, at this redirect, he's got a slip knot there. And then he puts a belly into the rope. So, this is stuff that, like, I've done only because, okay, so my reason for doing it at times is I've got everything tied up, and I didn't put a face cut, and the rope is running right by the face cut. So if I was to have the same setup, okay. So if I was to have this same setup, and I've used this technique, so in mine, let's say I have the tree right here. It's a little hard to tell the purple on this, but the tree goes up. Let me make it at least a little different, so you can tell the difference in what's what. Okay, so now you see the tree. The rope goes up from the base. It would be at a bollard. GB bollard would be there. It would come down, go to it. So it would go up, and instead of being in the natural crotch, I would probably go and put a false crotch right there. Which, a false crotch meaning a pulley or a ring. So I'd put a ring there. Then I would come over here and I would put myself another ring. Then, after I have that set up, normally I would put my face cut the way I want this section to go. Then I would tie it off, and it would go from my redirect there, the rope would go straight up to it. And I'd make my cut here and fall. But the problem sometimes is if you don't make the face cut first, then you're stuck with the rope right in the way of the face cut. The reason I would use this technique would be for that. Would be so that while I'm getting ready to make this cut, if the rope is going where I need to make my back cut, or if the rope is going where I have my face cut, and I'm afraid of the chainsaw blade hitting the rope, I would use this technique. And all you're doing basically with this technique is, I gotta erase that flower, I'm sorry. My daughter's gonna be upset, but so all you're doing with that technique is, I wish I had some, oh, I do have some right here. I can show you without pulling a bunch of crap out. So let's do that. Alright. So, let's pretend like this is my last redirect that I would have. I have that pulley over here. That'll work. Right, let's use this. And we'll just hang it off that. Okay, so we have our pulley. Oh, my bad. We have our pulley right there. So this pulley is, in theory, let's say it's this. Well, it's this spot right here. So as I go to put my rope up into it, I've came into the habit when I'm doing my rigging, if the rigging point is a little ways away, because I use rings, I would purposely put a stopper knot in the system. That way a ground guy didn't snag the rope with a branch and it pull it out of the system. So what I would do is put myself a stopper knot. Like that, and then it would pull back into it and it would stop the rope from going back into it. Okay, now I can take this and I can tie up the branch. Well, when I want to pull it out, I pull. I'm going to rip that saw down if I pull it hard, but it just pops out. So where I would normally put my face cut in the piece here, I would face cut first, then I would take the rope and I would tie it up, hook it up. Well, if when I go to hook up here, this rope ends up being where I need to make my cut, that's not a good thing. You don't want to hit the rope. So you can always tell the ground guy, hey, don't hold it tight. You'll hear ground or climbers all the time say, hey, hold this one loose. Hey, don't hold this one tight. Well, what you would do in this situation, so that instead of telling them don't hold it tight or don't have it like you can just do what Daniel does here. Put a stopper. It goes like that. Now you've got a little belly in the rope, which keeps it away from your cut, and you can make your cut safely. As the piece goes over, it's going to pull that stopper knot. It's going to pull that stopper knot out, and then it's going to run into the system. So Daniel is using it with a stopper knot to basically get it to travel a long distance and then drop into the system, and then be held by the system. Instead of keeping it away from his cut in his demonstration, he's using it because he wants to put a big belly into the rope so that it drops past obstacles before the system holds it. Now, I don't see there really being a reason or purpose to use that if you have an experienced ground guy. A guy that's ever ran ropes. That's not needed. For, you want it to pass by. His reason for saying it was when he used to climb, he wanted it to get away from him. So instead of asking a guy to let it run, he says this makes it so you don't ever have to ask him to let it run. But what you're doing, Daniel, is forcing shock load. Where in many situations you can allow the system to run, like the ground guide to let the rope run. That will slowly stop the piece on the way down and eliminate and lessen shock load. You're forcing shock load with this because nothing is happening. You're allowing so much drop and weight to be dropped into the system before wham. When this gets pulled out, wham, it puts all the weight into that system, all the stretch. Now, as a climber, I don't want that. I don't want instantaneous shake of the tree. Now, if I was in a bucket, I wouldn't care about that. I would be focused. So my issue with the explanation is it's being talked about like when I used to climb, this was beneficial. And I don't really see it being that beneficial climbing in that scenario, because now you're attached to the area that's being rigged, and your ground guy is guaranteed to shock load the shit out of this. The potential for that rope breaking is way higher because there's no gradual let it run. The ground guy has so many feet of dropping before it's like a guessing game. How long is this before I'm going to feel weight? Then I also have to configure that stopper knot needs to pull out. And so it kind of makes things harder on the ground guy. But if you're tied in here and you're worried about the piece swinging and hitting you, it will guarantee that it gets further away before it gets rigged. It eliminates the chance. Like, so if you know that your rigging is 100% strong, there's no chance in hell it's breaking out, but you're worried that the ground guy is going to hit you with it, then it's useful. Then I feel like this is useful if you're scared that that rope guy is going to hold it too tight and the piece is going to swing and hit you. Then I say it's useful. But it doesn't really, it doesn't really eliminate the let it run thing, though. Because you're still going to shock load the rope like crazy if that guy doesn't let it run. You're basically saying, lock it off and just hang it. Bam! That's spoken like a bucket operator. Because if you're using a bucket truck, you're not worried about that. You're not attached to the tree. If it fails, it's not you. You know, you're in your lift. So it doesn't really eliminate that for a climber. My reason and like use for that would be, like I said, the cut. That would be where I would have focused my explanation and demonstration of the technique would be, if you need that to make the cut, you could use this. But in the same scenario, like with Daniels here, he wants his piece to drop down past something. Well, what I would have done is, instead of putting the belly, I would have anchored higher to there and slice cut it and dropped it straight down. And then my ground guy would have let it run when it hits the system. So the belly being left there does do that, but like I just don't think I would have done that. And then it would for sure get away from me, you know, because I would anchor it higher to where it tip ties it and it forces it to go down. But if I wanted to, I would just tell my ground guy to let it run. If I need it to run, I'd just say, let it run. Or let it get away from me. It's like, I guess, in theory, if like you got a new ground guy and you're worried about that, you could just say, hey, I'm going to put this knot in here. That takes the guesswork out for him. But my reason for using that technique, because I have used it many times before, is I've always used it in situations where I need to make my cut and the rope is in the way of the cut. Made the video 11 years ago? That's crazy. But like, you can't, what do you mean you made it 11 years ago? So you saying like, you're not saying like I took the idea from you, right? Because I think you just published it. So it ain't like I like watched it, was like, oh, like I could go back in footage and point out like I'm using it here, I'm using it here. The video is 11 years old. Right on. I just, yeah, I don't know. I didn't really. I know that I've never watched you do that. I've just known that a stopper knot stops my rope from running back out of the system, and I used it in false scratch situations. So I always have the stopper knot there, especially when I'm getting a little away from the rigging. I don't want to have to go back and chase the rope down because the knot ends up getting all the way back to it. So I would do that. I would tie a stopper knot. I would clip it to me. Also, I would pull some slack knot a lot of times and put a stopper knot because I'm going to attach the rigging rope to me. I don't want it pulling on me. So you can almost make it a bit weightless by slapping a stopper knot in when you go to connect it. And then in those situations, because I would do that and I would see, oh, it's got the weight. And I've been in situations where I need to make the cut, and I'm like, hang on, let me move this rope. And I would turn the redirect, the ring, or in some cases just a speed line strap. I would move it, and it would still, the rope would be in the way of the cut. Then my instinct instantly was like, hang on. I would put some belly into the rope with using a stopper knot, or you can try that thing where you put some belly there. And if you're using natural crotch, it's got some friction. So you could probably do the situation where you're like, don't hold it, don't pull on the rope. Like leave it loose in your hands and put some belly into it, because in his scenario, the friction that's being used or being created here in the natural crotch probably would have held it and allowed him to just pull rope out and have a little belly there that's not getting pulled back down by rope weight. But in my situation where I'm using false crotch and like rings and stuff, there's like no friction there that's enough to stop the rope weight from pulling out. So if you know what I mean. I may not have explained that perfectly right, but respect, y'all. Hey, Red, don't be taking your advice. I couldn't care less about your criticism. I don't know who you are, and don't care. You can find this with the fuck's. Oh, what the hell? Oh shit, that's crazy. I wonder the same thing about myself sometimes. I'm like, man, because I have tried to explain things, and years later actually figure out wording things in a way that the average Joe can understand and that everybody will understand is very difficult. That's why going off the cuff with live videos and stuff is rough at times, because then later on I think, I could have explained that so much better, but I just in the moment I lost the vocabulary to be able to do that. And yeah, I think the same thing about myself, because there's things I thought I knew enough to like share with people, but years later I figured out the terminology to properly explain it, which may be weird to some people. That may not make any sense, but it does to me. It's like I thought I knew it because I had used it and I'd experienced it, but like knowing something and being able to articulate the steps that are needed is difficult. It's its own skill, 100%. What's wrong? I'm only partially right about worrying about shock loading. I do understand what matters. What am I wrong about? It's a negative rig, brother. It's a negative rig. It's gonna shock load. And your title says never have a ground guy let it run. If your ground guy is locking that off, you are shock loading the hell out of it. And I would do the same thing and shock load it much less. So you tell me where I'm wrong in that scenario. Because you titled the video. You said never need a ground guy to let it run again. To not shock load the system, that ground guy still has to let that run at one point there. Too much to explain here? Oh no. Okay, right on. Well, I mean, I get you. Or is it too much to explain here, or is it would be hard as hell to articulate everything to, like, that right there, that explanation I gave? So I'm wrong. When that belly drops in that rope drops in that, you aren't shock loading that system. When that finally reaches and that weight gets in properly into the system to the point that it pulls out your slip knot, you're not shock loading. There's no shock load. I have to make another video about it. Yeah, I mean, if there's something that like wasn't discussed there, that technique allows it to get away from you. If you're forced to be right there and you're worried about it hitting you and you don't think the guy on the ground has the skill to get it away from you, I'm backing you on that right there. As a climber, if I was forced to be right in that area and I was worried that ground guy wouldn't let it get far enough, I'm not disputing that. Absolutely not. Like, that's the part I I 100% agree. Where you don't have the trust in that guy that's running the ropes. So, in the case of that big limb, the way it fell, shock load was insignificant. Yeah, but insignificant to you and non-existent aren't the same. Like it is, it's a real thing though. If that same, we're not pretending like this is only ever going to be used by you in that one situation. We have to acknowledge that other people are going to try to take said technique and use it with more weight on a higher, like it gets pushed. That's the way it always works. Somebody does something, somebody else tries to do more, 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 more. So it's going to get pushed. I'm just trying to point out the, not flaws, but like the downside to it. So if you're locking said piece off and leaving a belly into it that a stopper knot is preventing, you're going to allow it to run, but you are going to shock load that system. If you are 100% sure that all rigging points are strong enough that it doesn't matter, it becomes insignificant then to the climber, but not to the rope, not to the system, not to, like, if the tree wasn't like healthy enough. Look at how many do you trust to let a piece run with zero friction for 15 plus and then have enough reps to control it? I would tell you right now, I would have trusted my ground guy to let that get by. I watched your video probably 4 times. Now, is there a chance that the angles in the video made it look like it was much more doable than it actually is? That's possible. I've thought things are insane, and then I see the angle that I recorded it at, and I'm like, it doesn't even look that bad. So, but I would 100% trust my ground guy to let that go by. You're not 15 foot tall though. That's the other thing. Like the 15-foot thing, you wanted to miss another branch, but where I would miss the other branch is I would have span rigged and forced the piece to come into the system and not be out here. I wouldn't add a belly into that and to do all that in that scenario. I would change a rigging point position to get a different lowering point and a different drop zone. Or I would use a different rigging technique, like I said, span rig, double whip. That's why I think all the tools are needed, and you should know all the techniques, even this, because you would be forced to do something like this in this situation if you don't know other techniques. Like I don't know. Even removing that redirect and forcing it to go further in a different direction, like, or a tagline, or like, there's so many other options that, like, you're probably not finding yourself to where that would have been necessary for me, you know. Now, if you're solo and you needed to rig that piece, you could do that. Like, you could lock it off as the ground guy, and then go up into the bucket, make the cut, and be sure that that piece, as long as your rigging's strong enough, you're going to hold, as long as your rope's strong enough. So it was just easier with no downside. Yeah, if you know your rigging's strong enough, I say get after it. I'm just pointing out to where that's not going to be every tree's, like, if you're worried about the rigging, don't, like, hold off on that. Yeah, and I was also just trying to add a little bit to, like, as much as I knew I was gonna pick at it, which I knew you were not gonna like, I wanted to give a little more of a reason why I think it could be useful to somebody. This technique would be very useful for a climber that needs to be able to make the cut, and the rope is being forced to be in the way of the cut. Allowing that belly to be into it by using the stopper knot technique or slip knot technique, like you called it, is effective. Like, it can be the trick to save the day in some of these situations. I'm just saying, what I'm looking at there, as the climber, I'm not 15 foot tall, so the scenario that I was given by the video was, if when you used to climb, you needed the guy to get it past you and it not hit you. Then you said you would never need to let it run again. And that technique would work. You just need to make sure the rigging is plenty strong. That includes the rope. Like, the rope doesn't have any crappy spots in it. Like, I'm pointing out the variables that can make this technique that is useful could make it dangerous. That's my job. That's what I do. So, like, I'm just doing my job. I've been using the Slipknot the same 11 years. We call guys like that cowboys. Others call them heads. You're crazy, dude. Who let him in? Jesus Christ, who let him in? Everybody's busy watching out for Tim, and I locked the door this time. I told you guys I messed up last week when I didn't lock it, and Tim did make it in, but Drew climbed in the window. What up, Drew? No, we're just ending. Shit, I'm over 2 hours. No, no, Murph, it's a good technique. I'm just pointing out the nuances to it, like things to watch out for. And with every I'm telling you, Murph, I don't care what technique it is, I'm gonna pick. That's what I do. This what I do. I'm gonna tell you the things that I think could go wrong with it. Fucking A. Get him. Get up. I do that to every technique. Like, when I see a guy be like, oh, check this out, or check this out, I'm always like, well, why is that not the only technique? Because there's got to be a flaw to it, or where certain scenarios where that wouldn't be perfect to use, or what could happen, or, like, as much as you can. My brain just doesn't work that way. Every technique, I want to know the goods, and I also want to know the bads. Like, that's just the way my brain works. It may be an issue for me, and it's just over the years, it's just what's happened. I've been trying to keep up with every technique along the way, you know, trying to make my own videos of them, and yeah, I'm stuffed full of. Look, I'm not saying that. You're gonna get my stream taken down. Oh, hell. Alright. Well, I appreciate, God dang, man. I appreciate all you guys. The amount of members is mind-blowing to me already. Like, thank you all so much. Low Impact Forestry and Tree, I think you're the reason for like half of those members. Ground Pounder just like locked in for 14 months of members. Like, dude, you guys are the best. I appreciate the hell out of you. You have my word. I'm not going to bed until that video's done tonight. I may have to wait till tomorrow to export it and get it onto the phone, or get it onto YouTube, but you know what, I'm going to have it exported tonight, and maybe I'm going to try to upload it tonight. I feel like you guys have done me so right with for joining the memberships, being part of all that. I appreciate you guys so much. Like, don't get mad at me if not, because no matter what, I will have it up tomorrow. But there's a pretty good chance by the time you wake up in the morning, or if some of you go to bed late, before you go to bed, it will be on members. So this is one of the funner ones I've done in a while. This video, it was gnarly. It was a rotten oak tree with some of the craziest. Like, it looked like this tree right here, but rotten, with a house here, massive house, a driveway up underneath it, and another long ass lead. Or actually, I think one lead went like this, and another one, like this lead down here that ends up going out over the house, was bigger almost than the rest of the tree. And the tree's just stone cold dead, falling apart. So, yeah, that's what I'm working on as far as videos. I've got some really good footage for you guys. And, yeah, to show my appreciation, I got to end this so that I can go edit videos and get you guys a video up. Thank you. I appreciate you. But I'm done. This was dumb. I hated all of this. I don't know if I'm ever going to do this again, but thank you for your time. I appreciate y'all, and stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and have a safe work week if I don't talk to you before then. Thanks again.